Yeah, yeah.
There is a new one who can't accept the green one for living with the cat one. Trying to be a skinny one, different strokes for different folks. And so on and so on and Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
We got to live together. I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can figure out the bag I'm in. I am everyday people. Yeah, yeah.
There is a long hair that doesn't like the short hair for being such a rich one that will not let the big one. Different strokes for different folks. And so on and so on and Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
We got to live together.
There is a yellow one that won't accept the black one, that won't accept the red one, that won't accept the white one. Different strokes for different folks. And so on and so on and Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
I am everyday people.
Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks? You damn right.
Welcome. Here we are back again Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Can you dig it?
Right here back in the house at the Radical Republicans live show with your host, Jerome Bell, bringing it to you live, unedited, unscripted, unfiltered, uncensored, and most of all, unapologetic truth to your eardrums. I'm glad you guys come in tonight. Thank you for joining us. I see you, Susan, over there. I see you, TBB. I see you, my brother's keeper over there in Getterland and on YouTube. Susan's on YouTube tonight. I see you. So bring it in. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. 5.0 on the mic tonight. We have a lot to talk about, of course, as always, man. The bunch is going on, man. As usual, we have a lot going on in the country. Good, some bad. Some people got some explaining to do. And we're going to bring it. Your favorite fan, my brother's keeper. She says she's my favorite fan. I don't know. Susan might have something to say about that, and Carolyn. And I don't know, man. But I love you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. Definitely. Before we get in, we're definitely going to get our sponsors tonight. We're going to get them out of the way. It is US Diabetes Care. And that's usdiabetes.com, because we are in a diabetes epidemic. Our country is in a diabetes epidemic caused by the addition of processed foods as high fructose corn syrup, refined sugar, and refined wheat into our diets many, many years ago. Where is RFK, man? RFK, I haven't seen him lately. Have they like quieted him? Have they like pretty much shut him down? You know, the whoever, the Department of Israel Affairs or something. Shit, I don't know, man. But the American Diabetes Association states it is a nationwide epidemic that affects over 38 million people in this country. U.S. Diabetes carries a mission-driven health education company focused on ending the diabetes epidemic here in America, not by prescribing more medications, but by teaching people how to reverse their condition through proven science-based lifestyle medicine. That's what we got. Who is US Diabetes Care and what do? We don't sell a product, we teach a process. Our mission is to educate, empower, and transform lives by helping individuals reverse prediabetes, type 2, type 3, and gestational diabetes, and of course, insulin resistance, not just manage them. Over 90% of those who complete the program show measurable improvements, and many reverse their condition entirely. Why we're different? Why it works. Unlike most diabetes programs that focus on disease management, we focus on reversal. We don't promote a future of lifelong medications, blood sugar monitoring, and constant doctor visits. We help people treat the root cause, not just the symptoms, so they can take back control of their health. So visit usdiabetes.com and take control of your diabetes. K9 Girl is here. She just finished running. K9 Girl will run in any type of weather. I think she goes out there in hurricanes too. So welcome being here, K9 Girl. I appreciate you. And also Supermassive Black Coffee. Supermassive Black Coffee. Are you tired of the same old corporate, diluted, and devoid of character? Coffee, of course. It's time to break free from the chains of mediocrity with Supermassive Black Coffee. Crafted from 100% organic beans, this coffee is fire roasted in a Victorian era roaster, a relic from an age when true craftsmanship thrived. The unique process allows the flames to caress each bean, unlocking bold, rich flavors with dark chocolate undertones in a smooth, smoky finish. In a time of soaring coffee prices, I just went out and bought some other coffee. I ran out of for my mother-in-law. Right, and it's up there, man. The price of coffee is really has really risen, and because of supply chain disruptions, Supermassive Black Coffee stands as a beacon of quality and resilience. While others compromise, this brand remains steadfast, delivering a brew that defies convention and invites coffee lovers to explore the depths of flavor and mystique. Join the rebellion against the mundane. Visit supermassiveblackcoffee.com and use code MAMBA, MAMBA, for 20% off your order. Embrace the conspiracy and sip the mystery. And I ran out yesterday. I have to actually go to Supermassive Black Coffee and get me some more. Actually, they send it to me. But anyway, so let me ask you, how was you guys' week? Put it in the chat. How was your week? Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Jackie, I see you over there, Jackie. Jackie made it again to Rumble Land tonight. I see you, Jackie. And where's Carolyn tonight? Carolyn, I don't see any trolls tonight yet. But anyway, yeah, it's crazy. The coffee prices, absolutely, absolutely. So if you know people who need to hear this now, I can put a link up in the chat for you. You can send them the link here shortly. I'll put that up for usdiabetes.com, usdiabetes.com, usdiabetescare.com. Sorry about that, usdiabetescare.com. I'm the number one fan, says Susan. So we got a battle. We got a battle from Susan, who says she's the number one fan, and my brother's keeper. This guy, I didn't make it to Wallace yet, man. Come on, I didn't make it to Wallace yet. I'm busy, and hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I really do. Hope everyone was fed well, ate well, and hope everything went well in everyone's lives. But I haven't made it to Wallace yet, so that's a road trip. That's going to require a road trip. I'll probably end up doing it this spring. I don't think I can do it during the winter, but I may make it out there though. So, but here we go though. It is what it is though. So, if you've been paying attention, okay, I guess this week, if unless you live under a rock, you the tragedy in D.C. that should be, and from what President Trump is saying, it should change the entire immigration debate, truthfully. To major developments in Ukraine with the peace talks, that, I don't know what's going on with Zelensky. If I'm President Trump, I'm like, look, he was supposedly had until Thanksgiving to accept the offer, right? And then, of course, something, they didn't like something in it, and so I don't think it got done yet. I don't think the peace talks over there got completed yet. Record-breaking deportation numbers, I don't think it's enough. But I mean, this has been I think one of the most consequential weeks of Trump's second term. And I have a bone to pick with Trump too. He pardoned a drug dealer that was instrumental in a conspiracy to flood 400 tons of cocaine into the United States, and Trump gave him a pardon. And I think it has something to do with the presidency in Honduras. It's a bunch going on. I'll probably try to tap on that too. But the story I think that dominated the headlines all week, and it should have, is the National Guard shooting, and Trump's response to that. Trump's response verbally, Trump's response on truth. I heard that on Friday he did change some things with the immigration, because on Wednesday morning, of course, the November 27th, the day before Thanksgiving. I mean, who does this, man? Well, terrorists, of course. 2 National Guard members were shot. And that 20-year-old man, she was so young, 20-year-old specialist, Sarah Beckstrom from West Virginia, was killed by an Afghan guy that we brought back, right? Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf from Pennsylvania, from what I understand, is still in critical condition, fighting for his life after emergency surgery. The suspect, I would say the terrorist, because they actually shot him, some National Guardmen came over and actually shot him and was able to get him, 29-year-old Afghan national that we brought back. And this story is going to take a twist, man. Ramuel, I can't even say his name, Lochinwall, Ramanula Lochinwall, I think his name was. But this is where it gets really, really, I think for me, complicated, and why the media doesn't want to tell you the full story because you're never going to get the full story from the media. But Lockenwall, he came to the United States in September 2021, supposedly during the Biden administration withdrawal from Afghanistan. He was one of over 190,000. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that the number was 190,000 Afghans that was admitted under, it was called Operation Allies Welcome, a program for the Afghans supposedly who worked with the United States government during the 20-year war. So 190,000, is that did that many really work for the US government during the 20-year war? 190,000 Afghans. And this guy apparently you didn't see it on the mainstream media. I saw it on X, right? He did work with us. He worked with the CIA. The CIA confirmed this guy was a dude. This guy was a special forces guy, right? He was a special forces guy. The CIA confirmed that he did work with them in Afghanistan starting around 2011. He was part of a CIA-backed group. What? The CIA just needs to get splintered. I mean, literally disbanded and splintered into 1,000 pieces into the wind, like JFK said before he was murdered. Supposedly, he went through the vetting process when he came to America. I from what I understand, these people did not go through a complete vetting process because it was basically taken for granted that they had been vetted. They worked with the CIA, they worked with the U.S. over in Afghanistan, and they did good things, I supposedly, and that was their vetting. They didn't get vetted again when they came over to the United States. So, but multiple officials, have said that he was clean on all checks, right? But here's one of the kickers that you probably won't hear, except here, maybe if you watch some, I don't know, some other conservative media outlets. And you see, guys, I'm wearing my America Only hat, right? They sort of messed up on my why. I'm sort of pissed off at that, but I'm going to get another one. They have to fix this. But wearing my America Only hat because I am America Only. I'm far from America First anymore because when you say America First, we have conditions, right? When we say America First, there's always conditions because it doesn't seem like, even with the Trump administration, it doesn't seem like that they're putting America first. It seems like they're putting other countries first, other people first, right? Israel first, Ukraine first, Argentina first, because this is where all our money is going. This is where every bit of our money is going, right? But here's the kick. His asylum application was approved this year, 2025, not under Biden. Okay? Not under Biden. It's easy. It's easy to blame Biden, the Biden administration for everything. But you know what? The Trump administration has to take some of this blame. Okay? His asylum application was approved in April 2025. The Trump administration granted him asylum. And I can't blame Trump personally, right? But you know how it is. The buck stops here. This is his administration, right? People are not doing their jobs, but who's losing their jobs? Who's getting fired, right? Who's getting fired from these mishaps, from these people not doing the proper vetting on these people, right? So this was the Trump administration that granted him his asylum and approved it this year in April, right? So when President Trump and administration officials, they started talking about how this is all Biden's fault. Trump is good for that. And I know this is going to make some people upset. I know it's going to make people mad because there's a MAGA cult out here. There's a MAGA cult, man. If you say anything against Trump, if you hold him to task, hold his administration to task, right? It's some people that attack you, right? It's some people that's going to attack you. Yeah, and I agree. Mark Kelly's conduct is bullshit. We went over that last week, but we're going to do it. But and we may get into Mark Kelly a little bit more. Carolyn is here. Hey, Carolyn, good to see ya. Good to see. So this is stuff that you're not going to hear. How many of you heard that? How many of you heard that it was not the Biden administration, but it was the Trump administration that actually supposedly vetted this guy and granted him his asylum? Okay, so Trump can talk all that shit about how it was all Biden's fault for the chaotic withdrawal and showing pictures of Afghans packed on the planes and riding on the planes. Well, they were only telling you half the truth. Here you get the full truth. You may not hear that on Fox News. You may not hear that on anybody else's, I don't know, anybody else's, podcast or shows or news or whatever, but have any of you, and I'm going to check the chat, have any of you heard that? Have any of you heard that? I got to change my settings for a second because I'm hearing the echo. All right, I think that's a little better. But how many of you have actually heard that this was President Trump's administration that actually granted him his asylum and his family? Have you heard that? And so I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's more, right? This guy is not the only guy, right? I mean, I heard, what was it? A day ago, 2 days ago, this guy was arrested, a Afghan that came over with Biden. Maybe Trump administration approved this guy's asylum application too, but he came over and he was arrested after doing a TikTok video about bomb making and blowing up the Fort Worth area. So I'm not sure, and I know for a fact that it's also the Trump administration that's not doing their job. I mean, so does that mean that he should have been here? Right? Does that mean that the system worked? No, it didn't. The system is not working. Okay, the Biden system is not working, and obviously now, since this guy was vetted by the Trump administration, the system is not working under Trump either. No, because like I said, this guy who we brought to America, who we supposedly vetted, who we gave asylum to, drove across the country from Washington State. He was living in Washington. He was living in Washington State with his family, and he drove across the nation. That's all the way across the nation to Washington, D.C. So this had to be a planned hit. It had to be a something that he was called to do, because who does that? Who does that except someone that's on a mission, someone that I think now this is a false flag operation. Totally thinking it's a false flag operation. Somebody wants us to go to war with the Muslims. Who? Guess who? Guess who? I mean, but he drove all the way from Washington State to Washington, D.C. and murdered 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom in cold blood. National Guard in cold blood, and injured Andrew Wolf, 24-year-old staff sergeant, who's still fighting for his life. I mean, she was 20 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her. And this guy, I don't know, if he survived. I'm hoping and we're praying that he survived. What type of life he's going to have, because I'm not sure of his injuries. And so now, instead of having Thanksgiving, her parents had to plan a funeral, man. A funeral. It's totally unacceptable. And it really upsets me and pisses me off to no end that our government can't get it right. Can't get it right. And, like I've been saying, I've been saying it since 2017, when John McCain, Klobuchar, Lindsey Graham, Victoria Nuland, all these people were in Ukraine in 2014 and headed up the Ukraine color revolution that went on in Ukraine in 2014. And these same people, I believe, are responsible for the color revolution that started, if you go back a little bit, right? That started in 2017. Because if you think about it, the day that Trump got inaugurated, they were across the street burning flags and all this chaos started, right? 2017. And and guess what? We had the Senate, we had the presidency, and we had the House of Representatives. We had all three houses. We had a lot of never Trumpers. I believe we still have a lot of never Trumpers now because guess what? This is a repeat. This is a repeat, and they're ramping up the color revolution. You had General Flynn come out on a long tweet on X. If you follow General Flynn on X, he had this long tweet about we're in the midst of a color revolution. I was like, no, it started in 2017, and we let it metastasize like cancer all the way through to 2020. Remember the summer of love, right? And we really didn't do anything about that. We allowed the city of Chaz, what was it, 6, 8, 7 months or whatever before Trump decided to do something. We let it manifest and we let it metastasize like like stage 4 cancer to where we are now in this country. I'm gonna play some clips here in a minute. I'm gonna play one clip at least because if we don't do something about these people in Congress that's serving the country as representatives that hate this country, if we don't do something about them, Republicans in Congress, if we don't do something about these people spreading hate, fomenting this, that are actually the head of this color revolution, and you still have, like I said, Lindsey Graham. We'll play something. He was all for bringing in these Afghans. Lindsey Graham has blood on his hands. Has blood on his hands. And I said in a post on Facebook, I still do that every time something happens with, in this country like this, and every time President Trump praises Lindsey Graham or endorses Lindsey Graham like he does, I still don't know why. President Trump has blood on his hands too. I'm just going to be honest. Because President Trump endorsed him again, right? So who has the blood on their hands, right? Who has the blood on their hands? And we need to be completely honest about what's wrong. We need to be completely honest. And I know MAGA Coat, I know you're coming. That's why I can't be MAGA anymore because there's two different factions. There's MAGA, that's America first, truly America first, not the hijacked America first only, the America first. And there's America only MAGA. If anything MAGA, I'm America only MAGA. And I can't keep saying that because I'm a little disgusted with the way MAGA is going right now because MAGA is not MAGAing. We have to be America only. We have to be America only because this isn't just about Biden's withdrawal. Okay. I know, we say a lot about it and how debauched it was and everything, and 13 soldiers got killed. I get that. I understand that. It was terrible. But this is about the entire system for vetting refugees and asylum seekers. We are overrun by refugees. You see what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan. I'm gonna play a clip of Rashida Tlaib, Congresswoman, here in a minute. She needs to be expelled from Congress. Her, Ilhan Omar, and any one of these people that are down with America, that's at these rallies, right, of Muslims, at these rallies of Somalians, and saying that their country is first in America, need to go down. We need to take down America. These people are causing insurrection. These people are insurrectionists, and they're sitting in our Congress, and this weak-hearted Republican Party is doing nothing about it. It's doing nothing about it. So this is about whether we can ever truly know who we're letting into this country, especially from the war zones, where records don't exist, the backgrounds can't be verified. How can we vet these people? I have a solution, but I said that I was going to start a series like if I was president, right? If I was president, someone told me, don't do that, man. Don't do that. You actually might run for president. Then they'll have your whole platform. Don't do that. So I think I'm putting it in a book. I'm gonna write a book. I'm in the process of doing it. I think I'm gonna put everything in a book and call it "If I Was President, This is the Shit That I Would Do." This is what I would do. I mean, but it raises fundamental questions. Should we bring anyone from these countries? And I know President Trump said he's shutting down all the immigration. He must have he must have read he must have saw my video from 2020 when I said we need to stop immigration, all immigration, right? But I know he said that he's going to stop immigration from these countries. We're shutting it down. I mean, but are you really? Are you really, man? Are you actually going to do that? You should, because I mean, we shouldn't be. To me, we shouldn't be bringing anyone from these countries, even people who helped us. To be honest, I mean, if we can't guarantee that they won't turn on us later, why are we bringing them here? And a lot of soldiers said that, man, they didn't trust those Afghan soldiers, man. They had to keep their eye on them because they would have been because they've shot people in the back, and they didn't know if they was going to get shot in the back. So President Trump clearly, what he said now, he thinks the answer is no to this, right? Because on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, he posted, or somebody posted, So Trump posted on Truth Social that he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries and implement reverse migration to remove anyone non-compatible with Western civilization. Start in Dearborn, Michigan, and start in Minneapolis, Minnesota, my man. Start there. Start there, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, so I'm going to go to this clip. I'm going to go to this clip before I continue on with my rant. Okay, and I'm going to play this first.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere. Political structures that I have to work in, that we all are surrounded by, was built on slavery and genocide and rape and oppression. Real change.
Man, it's a good clip too.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere. Political structures that I have to work in.
I'm not sure why that's not playing. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to do this instead. Let me find something else. I'm going to do this because I want you guys to hear this. And I'm not sure why it's not playing. But I'm going to find it elsewhere. Seems like the connection is running kind of slow. Not sure why though. Maybe they're trying to shut me down, right? Maybe they're just trying to shut me down because I talk too much. But everything is slow, man. Wow. Are you guys getting the feed pretty good? Give me a thumbs up. Like the buildup of Mentos in a Diet Coke. Yeah, it's about to get really messy. Yeah, true. And Carolyn says, if Trump hadn't signed the withdrawal agreement, never said anything on his first term about withdrawal, wouldn't have been so chaotic. I agree. Man, so my connection, something's running slow here. I can't get to that video. Maybe they don't want me to show it. Maybe they don't want me to show the video. So, yeah, but he has to move fast, man. Slotkin called this a couple of weeks ago. No, I agree, man. I mean, she definitely caused it. She definitely caused it. There would be an attack on the National Guard, and I want to know where she knows that. Right? This is from TBB over in Getter. TBB says that Slotkin said that there would be an attack on the National Guard, and she did. Slotkin is the CIA chick, right? Slotkin is the CIA chick. How did she know that? That's what I want to know. How did she know that, right? I'm with you, TBB. How did she know that there was going to be an attack on the National Guard? I'm telling you, I'm trying to get to this clip, y'all. But yeah, I mean, I think she should be questioned. I think the Department of Homeland Security should question her. That's what I believe. All right, so I'm gonna continue until this load up. I get back with you guys on the clip. let me see if another clip will run because I have some other ones I want you guys to see too. Hopefully they're running. Where's this guy? Okay, so this guy here, let me show you. Hopefully this will run.
We're going to get this done. This is the right thing
None of my
to do.
clips are running.
There's no other ending
Wow.
that is acceptable
Wow.
to
None
me.
of the clips are running.
The people who were there
This is
with
weird.
us in the fight that are here in America need to stay. This will be their new home. So we have a moral obligation to these people.
All right, so something is going on with Rumble.
Over time.
Looks like in the studio, something is going on with Rumble. Can't play any of them. This is weird.
They think we're bluffing.
So I got some
we go
good
forward
ones, man.
with
I
it.
got
We
Jonathan
have
Pollard
the
up
right
in here, the
to
traitor.
use any and all weapons in our disposal, academically speaking, nuclear weapons. And I'm tired of using euphemisms. I'm tired of saying, well, we have something, in the basement, but we won't be the first to introduce nuclear weapons in the Middle East. It's enough already. I said, no, let me bring you back to October.
Pop out of here. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Are you guys having internet trouble? Are you guys having internet trouble? Because I am. Everything is loading up slow. Might just be my computer too, shit. Might be on my end. But okay, so I'm gonna see if I can play this from here for a second. Boom. Everything's down low slow. Okay, so let me I go back to my rant for a minute. All right, so like I was saying, so Trump thinks the answer is no, right? So he said he will permanently pause migration from third world countries and remove them. So this is exactly what he said because it's important. I did write this down, so I'm going to read this. He said the administration will terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal. Whoa, hold up. Okay. Okay, it's loaded up. So we're gonna get the clip from this chick, man. I'm gonna let it load all the way up first. But yeah, man. All right, so let me see if we can get this. I'm gonna share my screen here and play this clip from her. Now remember, okay, this is a sitting congresswoman. Okay. This is a sitting congresswoman.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere. Political structures that I have
It's
to work in.
I'm gonna play it over again.
That we are surrounded by was built on slavery and genocide and rape and oppression. Real change doesn't come from the cowards and warmongers in Congress. It comes from the streets. It comes from all of us mobilizing and seizing the power to resist and fight back. Gaza is the compass in this country. Now we're in Congress and we're every corner of the United States.
So I'm gonna play this back. You really understand what she said? I'm gonna have to get the whole clip, but this is just a clip, right? And she said Raza, so you guys look up Raza. We'll look it up. But let me see if this is okay.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere. Political structures that I have to work in, that we are surrounded by, was built on slavery and genocide and rape and oppression. Real change doesn't come from the cowards and warmongers in Congress. It comes from the streets. It comes from all of us mobilizing and seizing the power to resist and fight back. Gaza is the compass in this country. Now we're in Congress and we're every corner of the United States.
Is she threatening us? Is she threatening us? I take that as a threat, right? I take that as a threat. Sounds like to me that she's calling for revolution or insurrection in this country. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. From the streets, it starts in the streets. Oh, and we're in Congress now. Who are we? Who are we? That's what I want to know. Who are we? Oh, we're in Congress now. And Raza, is that if that's what she said, right? Raza, maybe I got it wrong, but sounds like some Antifa group. Sound like some revolutionary group to me. I was trying to see because maybe she didn't say Rasa, but it sounds like some type of revolutionary group. She's calling for revolution. This is a sitting Congress. We're in Congress now, and we're in every corner of the nation. Yeah. See, this is what tolerance gets you. This is what tolerance get you. This is what tolerance have gotten us in the United States. Right? Yeah, and Carolyn says she saw where Sarah's name was searched on the internet numerous times. It wasn't just on the internet numerous times. It was on the internet from Israel, Tel Aviv. This was a coordinated attack. This was a targeted attack. So let me go back to what Trump was saying. He said that his would terminate millions of Biden's illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Dude, we got a lot of people to get out of here, right? On Friday, the administration followed through. The State Department immediately paused all visa issuance for travelers with Afghan passports. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services halted all asylum decisions nationwide until we can ensure that every alien is vetted and screened to the maximum degree possible. Trump also ordered a review of all green card holders from Afghanistan and other countries. And when asked if he would deport Lockenwall's wife and children who live in Washington State, where he drove from, Trump said, "We're looking at that right now." All right, so here's where I want you to understand what we're witnessing here, right? Supposedly, if he's following through, now Trump has said some tough talk, and if it hadn't concerned Israel, he's backed off a little bit, right? The tariff stuff, right? It seems like if it's Israel, he'll go through with it, like bombing Iran. Or if it's for Israel, like we're going to war with Venezuela, okay? Because supposedly Hezbollah and all this shit is in Venezuela. So we're doing it for Israel. You guys need to understand that. But anyway, I digressed. I mean, this is the most aggressive immigration crackdown that we've seen yet, supposedly, since, I guess, Friday. we're not just talking about illegal border crossers anymore. We're talking about pausing all asylum decisions nationwide. I mean, so this is what I ran on. Okay. I may have showed you guys the clip on it. If you guys want to see the clip, I'll show it again. But this is what I ran on: a complete immigration moratorium in 2020 and 2022. I was the only candidate in the nation that ran on a minimum 10-year mandatory complete immigration moratorium and the abolishment of all cheap labor visa programs. I was the only one in the nation. This was in 2020, 2022. Where are we now? Right? Where are we now? Okay, so reviewing green card holders who are here legally. This is what we're talking about. Potentially deporting family members who really haven't committed any crime yet, but they're part of families. We don't want to split up families. Hey, they have to go, right? I mean, but I'm sure this guy that they have, I'm sure he's not being deported. I'm sure he needs to be tried for murder. And don't put this guy in maximum security. Don't do that. Don't put him in maximum security prison where the taxpayers are going to have to pay to hold him there until the death penalty or whatever. Just take him in the back, shoot him in the head like he did Sarah. After he's found guilty, just take him outside, take him in the back, wherever you want to take him, shoot him in his head like he did Sarah, because that's what he did to her. He executed the young lady. He executed a 20-year-old. Don't release him to another country. When he's found guilty, give him what he gave Sarah, the maximum penalty. Give him that. So we're talking about pausing all asylum decisions made nationwide again, like I said. Denaturalizing naturalized citizens who undermine domestic tranquility. Hey, I'm like, man, just get everybody out, right? Let me be clear about my position on here, though. Okay, I'm gonna be clear. We must secure our borders. The borders with an S, meaning northern border and southern border, because they're coming through the northern border as well. People don't talk about that a lot. Okay, we must deport the criminals. We must put American citizens first. America only. America only. So I ran on it in 2020. I ran on it in 2022. I support 100% this aggressive immigration enforcement if Trump and the Republicans are going to do it. Okay. I mean, but we have to be smart. We have to follow the Constitution. I'm a constitutional guy. That's what being America only first, Constitution. But as far as I'm concerned, none of these people, none of these illegals, they don't get the comfort of being lawful with the Constitution, because they don't fall under the Constitution. They're not a citizen. To me, the Constitution are for the citizens of the United States. The law of the land for the citizens. If you're not a citizen, and that includes refugees, that's not citizens. If you're not a citizen, you are not afforded the protections under the Constitution of the United States of America. To me, that's my take on it. And if they say we have to have due process, which I don't think the Fourth Amendment applies to anyone here illegally. If you're here, if you're naturalized, right? Okay. If you already got your green card, you're naturalized, okay. But if you need to be revetted, all that stuff gets pulled back. All that stuff gets pulled back. You're not naturalized anymore. You're going to have the denaturalization process. Okay. And we really need to be honest. I keep saying about what happened here. Okay. All right. The problem wasn't that we let too many people in, I guess, if you want to say that. Right. And I'm going to, as far as what the normies are saying, right? The problem is we can't properly vet them. We can't properly vet people from certain countries, period. Afghanistan is one of those places. It's a failed state. Their records are unreliable. Even the people that worked for us for years can turn on us, as you see. But we need to stop bringing people from these places to begin with. Going forward, we cannot bring any, no matter what. No matter what. So those who were given green cards and asylum under our laws, that's a dangerous precedent. It's a dangerous precedent. I mean, and attacking, people that's been here for years. No, come on, man. I mean, let's be smart. Let's be smart. Okay, but we need to maintain our borders, close our borders, and maintain our values. Okay, we can deport criminals and follow the Constitution. And these people are getting in the way. People like Rashida Tlaib are getting in the way. Okay? They are getting in the way. Her, Ilhan Omar, and these others that, like she said, we are in Congress now. What exactly does that mean? I think she needs to be questioned on that, right? Right? Don't you think that she should at least be questioned on that? What do you mean? What do you mean? We're we? Who are we? Rashida Tlaib, who are we? And I know it looks like, that, because I'm looking at Getter, look like I'm in slow motion. It's buffering bad over there, right? You guys tell me. But I believe it's buffering kind of bad. But we just got to keep rolling. We just got to keep rolling through the show. But I think she needs to be questioned. I'm going to see if any more of these clips will play. Hold up. Let me see something. Because this guy is a
We're
problem.
going to get this done. This is the right thing to do. There is
Okay,
no
so
other
none
ending
of these are
that
playing.
is acceptable
Man, it's
to
just
me.
weird.
The people who were there with us
But this is
in
what
the
happens when
fight
you have a live show.
that are here in America need to stay.
Can't go back and re-edit
This will be
stuff,
their
right?
new home, so we have a moral obligation
so
to these people. They will make great citizens over time.
Wait a minute. Let's play you again,
We're going to
Lindsay.
get this done. This is the right thing to do. There's no other ending that is acceptable to me.
It's buffering
The
bad,
people who
man.
were
It's
there
the first
with
time
us
this
in the
this has
fight
happened on
that are
on
here in
Rumble. I
America
think they're trying to
need
shut
to
me
stay.
down, y'all.
This will be their
They're
new
trying
home,
to shut down the
so we have a moral obligation to these people. They will make great citizens over time.
All right, so that was Lindsey Graham. That was when he was on Congress, right? He was, on the floor of the Senate when they were talking about bringing in these Afghan nationals, right? When he was talking about bringing them in. Oh, they'll make great citizens over time. Lindsey Graham has blood on his hands. Okay? Lindsey Graham has blood on his hands. I'm going to play something. If it'll play, okay? I'm going to play a clip because you're starting to hear now, right? People are saying they were communists. Some people are starting to use the word communist. I've been using it for a while, right? And I have a clip. I have a clip when I ran for Congress in 2022. I was on Breitbart Radio. It was a Saturday morning. I had an interview with Matt Doyle, on Breitbart Radio. Hopefully this will play. If not, but this is where I was the first one again to start using the terminology communism. This is where I broke in with it. Okay, I was the first one to do it. It seems like I'm always ahead of the game. I'm always ahead of the curve on shit, right? But this is why they don't want me, man, in Congress. This is why they spent $7 million against me. Let me see if this clip will play. If not, maybe I'll run it from another spot.
She's a state senator.
I know that's
Can
crooked.
you explain for us why you're
I
the
sent
better
this to
candidate
Steve Bannon
to win the
and-
general
and,
election and beat
I'm gonna see if
Elaine
this will
Lauria
play.
in
It
Virginia's
should
2nd
here
congressional district?
momentarily,
Because
man. It's just
the House
crazy.
majority may come down to this
It's
seat, sir.
ridiculous.
So explain for us
Ridiculous. What's going
why
on
you
with
are
the
the
clips?
best
All right, so
candidate
none
to
of them
take
are
on
playing.
Elaine Lauria and win the general
Stuck,
election in
man.
Virginia's 2nd congressional district.
All right, so I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna find it, right? Because I know where it's at. And I'm gonna play the clip from somewhere else. Let me get to it if I can. Need to switch up something a little bit. Let me see if it'll play from here. No, because I see this. I don't think we have any trolls tonight. Where are the trolls, man? Which PhD in Sage tonight? I don't think they want to come in. I'm gonna let that boot up. But yeah, we have no trolls tonight. But I think it's important. I think it's important when you guys pick and choose representatives, right? You can't. You have to stop picking and choosing representatives that just go with the flavor of the day, right? I mean, this is like MTG. This is my beef with MTG, right? I mean, she, maybe you've woken up or whatever and saw everything. Maybe she wanted to go. Maybe she wasn't having her way. I mean, but she sort of went with the flavor of the day, right? Kevin McCarthy voted for Kevin McCarthy 15 times. She turned on MAGA before, right? She went with the establishment with Kevin McCarthy, and now she's seeing that what happens when you go against Trump and and everything. So I mean, she's always done that. I mean, so you have to choose people. I would think. I have to find the videos. I would think that you need to vote for people that been out there for a while, right? I mean, that's been saying the same things, over and over. Not just says something when the wind blows this way and whatnot. I think it might just be my internet today. We had some weather here today, so it might just be that as well. Uh, Because right now it says I have no internet access. So did I just unplug? Should be wireless. This is crazy, man. Graham toilet boy's blood. Yeah, he has some major blood on his hands. No, I'm not sure what happened, but it says I have no internet. I don't know why. This is ridiculous. All right, so they pretty much shut me down. I don't know why. I'm just locked down. Hold on, let me see something. Jamie, where are you at? Nope. Jamie just hit me up. I'm gonna come here, Jamie. Just go. Where are you at, bro? Sleep is a terrorist. Go. Oh, hold on. I have to get my boy Jamie up. He's somewhere else. He's not. He's not on the Rumble chat. He's Hold on. I'm gonna. Dude, I don't know where to send you. Hold on. I have to get Jamie the full link. So are you guys still up? Did they take me down? And the reason I said because it says I had no internet. So did I get taken down? I don't know what the deal is. No, I think I'm still up. Okay, so okay, cool. All right, cool. So, all right, so I'm going to YouTube real quick. I'm going to have to let me see if I can get this. So I mean, none of my videos will load. None of them. Nothing's loading, man. And then Jamie, I'm gonna have to get Jamie another. Here, let me see if I can do this for Jamie. Let me see. He's Jamie. He's been on my show a couple of times. I'm going to try to. You guys have to excuse me for a second. For a second. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Let me try to send this to Jamie real quick. Okay, so I have some videos loading up. I was waiting on my YouTube channel. Okay, so they're starting to load up a little bit. Come here, Jamie. All right, so I'm gonna play this clip, right? It's short. I'm gonna play the first maybe minute of it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up. It was a long what's this say? Video link. It's weird, man. What's going on with the system tonight? Really, really weird. Someone's definitely messing with my with the show tonight, right? Okay, hold up. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys. So, yeah, Jamie, I see you, bro. I see you, man. What up, Jamie's in the house. All right, so I talked about using communist and commie, right? So so you guys know I'm not just the flavor of the day, right? I've been saying this stuff for years, as far as, who these people are, because I identified them way back in 2017, 18. I saw the color revolution. When I ran in 20, I saw what, I started using the term commie and communist in my election 2022. So I'm gonna let you guys hear something real quick. Since I can't play my other videos right now, I'm gonna play this for you.
25, the Patriot Channel. I'm Matt Boyle, our Washington political editor. Our number here, 866-95-PATRIOT, 866-957-2874, Sirius XM 125, the Patriot Channel. We're joined on the line right now by another very special guest, Jerome Bell. He was a candidate last time in 2020 for the Republican nomination for the Virginia's 2nd Congressional District. I think he's running again. Jerome Bell, thanks for joining us here on Breitbart News Saturday.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for having me, man. I'm honored to join the deplorable nation here on Breitbart Radio. And you are correct. I am running again for the 2nd Congressional District in 2022.
Okay, so we've seen the Republican establishment put forward these establishment-type people. Like we saw it last time. Everybody got behind him in the general election, but they got behind this guy, former Congressman Scott Taylor, and he ended up losing to the Democrat in Elaine Laria. Now there's another establishment person running this time, and the same establishment people that pushed this Scott Taylor guy last time and that lost the election in the general election are trying to push her on us, this Jen Kiggins character. She's a state senator. Can you explain for us why you're the better candidate to win the general election and beat Elaine Laria in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District? Because the House majority may come down to this seat, sir. So explain for us why you are the best candidate to take on Elaine Laria and win the general election in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm the only America First candidate here in the 2nd District on the Republican ticket that can beat Elaine Luria. But really, if you really want to know where we're going, and we have to know where we're coming from, and where we are right now at this very moment in our political history. So right now, I want to announce here on the Breitbart Radio that Jerome Bell for Congress campaign will be reintroducing words like commie, commies, communists, to the American people going forward, because that's exactly what these Democrats are. And so I think I'm the only one that can bring that. I'm the only one bold enough to do that, because these people, they are violent, revolutionary, Bolshevik communists, and that this nation did not used to tolerate. And it's time we stop tolerating their bull squeeze. Republicans need leaders like me. Trump's gone. We need leaders. We need strong leaders, vocal leaders, tough leaders to pick up the Trump mantle of America First and carry it forward. And that's what I bring to the table over probably any of the establishment candidates that they can try to run at me.
Right. So now your background is you served for 27.
All right, so there you go. There you go. Right? There you go. I was the only one speaking the language. The only one speaking the language back then. That was it. That was 2020. I have so many receipts that I was the first. I was the only. I can play you the video from me and Michelle Malkin where I was talking about ending the immigration. These people are late. They're on the late show. They're 5 years late. They're 4 years late, 4 to 5 years late on the late show, getting stuff done. And because of that, we have the Rashida Tlaibs. We have all of these, foreigners in our country. We have, open borders. We have all of this stuff going on in our country. And we're at a war. I want you guys to understand that, right? We're in a war. Rashida Tlaib is not playing. You guys heard her. We're in Congress. We're in every corner. We're motherfuckers. We're here to stay, right? But you know what I noticed about Rashida Tlaib, and I found this out on the campaign trail, right? On the campaign trail. She'll talk all that shit behind the mic at a rally. She'll talk mad shit. You see her at a rally, wherever she's at behind the mic, right? In front of her people. But if you confront her on the street, you confront her one-on-one, you see her walking down the street with her little entourage, whatever, going to the halls of Congress, the bitch doesn't say nothing. She will not say anything. So she's a lot of talk. Okay? She's a lot of talk. I know, Jack, you remember that, right? When they tried to silence me when I scared the shit out of them, you're right. But she's a lot of talk. But what she does is she'll be in front of the mic right there. She'll be at these rallies, Rasa, whatever. She'll be at these, Muslim rallies, and she will fire up her base and fire up the people. And these are the people that's listening to her. These are the people that she's getting to cause an insurrection here in the United States. I believe Trump should call a national emergency. I believe Trump should call we are in a national security emergency, especially what happened in, after what happened in DC to the 2 National Guardsmen, right? We are in a state of national emergency. We are in the midst. We have been in the midst, but it has been ramped up. I mean, you see all of these foreigners flying these flags, waving these foreign flags. Where does that happen at in any other country? Can they go there and do that in Russia? Does Russia allow that? Does China allow that? Does any of these other countries allow that? Can you try to go to one of these other countries and go around waving an American flag in some of these countries? K9 girl, she reminded me, she said, when she reached out to me in 2020 with concerns regarding the scamdemic, you said it was communist. Hey, there it is, right? There it is, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. These people, we really have, but we are in the uptick mist of a color revolution that they said would never happen here in the United States. They told us, right, that we are going to war. We're going over there because we need to fight them over there so we won't have to fight them over here. And damn it, we brought them back. We brought them here. Right? We brought them here. They told us we go over there. So we need to fight them over there so we won't have to fight them here. Well, we're going to have to fight them here. We're going to have to fight them here. I hope you guys understand that, right? And if you're listening closely, and if I have to play it again, I'll play it again. If you listen closely to Rashida Tlaib, she says we ain't going nowhere. So you guys take that for what it's worth, right? But sooner or later, and you see, and it's going to get worse. You guys understand that it's going to get worse. You know, I want to get into the Ukraine peace talks close to the. You know, I could give a shit, right? I was going to talk about Ukraine and the peace talks being closer to a deal and shit. I could give a fuck. I give a shit about what happens in Ukraine right now because we have problems. We have problems here in the United States. And listening like to at Rashida Tlaib, right? And Ilhan Omar and all of this, right? We have problems here in the United States. Major problems here in the United States. And, I mean, yeah, tell Zelensky, you know what? I mean, Trump needs to he needs to put the hammer down. And I know it's Congress. I know it's Lindsey Graham. And I know it's the representatives in the Senate. I know they control the purse strings and stuff, right? And they want to send more money, even more money over to the Ukraine. Screw that. Just screw that. Trump needs to understand where we are. He needs to stop listening to certain people. I saw a redacted show with Noel Fritch. Noel Fritch, who was my campaign consultant for both my campaign runs. He was on Redacted last night. We talked about they talked about Susie Wiles, right? Susie Wiles is a problem. I believe she's a major problem. I mean, but we have some political chaos, of course, that's coming up. We can't. We've arrested nobody, right? We've arrested nobody. The Republicans hasn't done a thing. All right, cool. Thank you, Susan. They haven't done a thing. I'm going to read something to you, right? I'm going to go find it. And the thing is this, right? It's like, what has the Republicans done? What have they done? It seemed like the Democrats can get away with murder, right? The Democrats can get away with murder, and they're never held accountable. They're never held accountable. I voted for arrest, right? I voted for arrest. I voted for people to be held accountable. This is what I voted for, right? I voted for people to be held freaking accountable. And nothing's being done. Pam Bondi, I tried to tell people, Pam Bondi was a gatekeeper. Cash was a gatekeeper. Okay, so let me read this. So number of arrests for Russian collusion hoax. How many? 0. People that that violated the constitutional rights of the January 6 prisoners. How many of those people have lost their jobs? How many of those people have been arrested? How many of those congressmen? 0. How many have been arrested for the unconstitutional Mar-a-Lago raid? 0. President Trump talks about Sleepy Joe Biden in the auto pen. Somebody used the auto pen. He said that everything that was signed with the auto pen is null and void. I want to see an EO on that. I want to see all the executive orders, everything. I want to see Trump write an executive order that states that everything that was done with the auto pen is null and void, and arrest people, right? How many people have been arrested for the Biden auto pen? 0. How many for the 2020 election fraud? 0. How many for Epstein pedophile? Right? How many of those people have been arrested? Pam Bondi said that she has the film. She has the videos. Over 250. Over 250, people were hurt, children, right? Victims, right? They have the videos. It's on her desk. She said that it's on her desk. How many have been arrested? 0. How many for the COVID scam? 0. What about Benghazi? None. What about Doge findings? What about the Doge findings? They put all this money that Elon Musk found was being wasted. All of our taxpayer money they're being stolen. We do not own we do not owe $38 trillion. The American people don't. That money was stolen. That $38 trillion. All of that money was stolen from the American people. We do not owe that debt. We do not need to pay that debt. This is why, before we start a tax revolt that I've been calling for, this is why they want digital currency. This is why they want you on digital. Because once you're digital, you don't really need the IRS. You don't need the the Fed. I mean, they just cut you off. You don't need the IRS. You don't need to pay income taxes anymore. They're just gonna take it, basically like they do now, right? But the Doge findings, do you know that they put all of that money right back into the big beautiful bill, and they're still in it, right? They just moved where it's going, right? They just moved where it's going. I understand that U.S. AID was shut down, right? No, it wasn't really shut down. It was just moved into the State Department, right? It was just moved to the State Department, where it's being ran by Marco Rubio, right? The Ukraine impeachment hoax. How many have been arrested? 0. Fauci, 0. And how many from the pharmaceutical industry that have killed millions of people, damaged millions of people? 0. So you see where I'm at, right? You see where I'm not MAGA anymore. MAGA hasn't done shit. What has MAGA done, right? Yeah, we got President Trump reelected, but what has the administration done besides bring? I wish I could play this video. I'm gonna go play this video because you can say all you want. You can say all you want about Nick Fuentes, right? I'm gonna play a video. I mean, and he's spot fucking on this video that I'm about to play, right? Totally spot on. I can't. So I'm gonna have to go here and play it again because I don't think it's playing on Rumble. For some reason, I'm gonna find it. But Nick Fuentes is spot on it, and you have to really, and you sit back, right? You listen to this, and you sit back and be like, you know what? Damn, that's the play. That's the play. And I'm gonna play, and you're gonna understand what I'm talking about, and it makes total sense. That's the play. And people think, they say Nick Fuentes isn't that he is an asshole, right? He is an asshole. But people call Trump an asshole too. People call Trump an asshole too, right? By the things that he say, things that he's said, things that he's done. And of course, all this stuff is loading up slow. But Nick Fuentes is right on this, I think. And here, I mean, and unless someone else steps up to the plate, someone else that, because they select who they want you to vote for, right? I'm hoping we don't lose the 2026 midterms, but that's normally the play, right? This here is normally the play, okay? So they know people are angry, people are pissed off because they're not doing anything. So most likely we'll lose the House, if not both, if not the Senate. The House, to where we, they'll just go and impeach and close down and stop everything that Trump is doing or whatever the case is. And then they'll say, oh, we can't get anything done because the Democrats are blocking us, right? Because the Democrats are blocking us and we can't get anything done. We can't get anything through the House, or we can't get anything through the Senate because everything we do in the House, the Senate's going to block, or, so they're going to make Trump a lame duck president. And I know Trump is making moves and you can say what you want to say, because I know the CRO, I know the crypto companies that Trump are making. I know the moves that Trump's making behind the doors to secure his family's future. I know these, right? I got them. I got you. But he's going to be a lame duck president if we lose the House. Okay? If we lose the House. And I'll come back to that. So I'm getting down to this Nick one. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one first. Okay, and yeah, I mean, and whether you want to think Nick is right or wrong or whatever on this, I mean, this is where they're going to take us, man, because they give us who they want us to have, right? They get not who we want, not who we want, but who they want us to have. And I'm going to play this Nick Fuentes for you, and tell me if he's right. You know, just tell me if he's right, okay?
What is the plan with JD Vance?
Well, here's a little sampling of what they have in mind. Okay. Trump gets shot in the ear in July 2024. Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, and Peter Thiel call Trump, and they say you have to pick JD Vance, or else the neocons might really kill you next year. Weird timing, weird thing to say. So Trump chooses JD Vance the following week at the RNC to be his vice president. Very weird. Why? Because JD Vance is a freshman senator who is 2 years into his term. So he's a private citizen. In 2022, he's elected to the Senate. 2024, he's the vice president of the United States of America. How does a person rise so quickly? Well, the backing of little tech. These disruptive defense tech companies like Palantir, Anduril, OpenAI, X, Tesla, the PayPal mafia, this group of billionaires, he's their guy, and they bought Trump. They fundraised for Trump to get Trump to pick him. Okay, so Trump wins the election. JD Vance has to leave the Senate to run for vice president. So this opens up a Senate seat in Ohio. And JD is the senator there, so he's got a lot of influence. Well, who do they want to run in Ohio now as the governor of the state? Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, Vivek's competition in the Republican Party, who was going to run for, I think it's lieutenant governor, he was appointed to replace JD Vance in the Senate. You see? So JD Vance leaves the Ohio Senate seat to be VP. Trump and Vance, using their political capital, steer the lieutenant governor into that Senate seat to take him out of the running for governor. Now Vivek Ramaswamy has a clear shot. Vivek Ramaswamy is a Yale Law School colleague of JD Vance's. Ramaswamy was a big booster with little tech behind the Trump campaign. You know where Anduril is going? Drone company, their drone factories in the state of Ohio. Anduril is run by Palmer Luckey, who is given a second chance by Peter Thiel. He's tight with JD Vance. JD Vance steered Peter Thiel's money into Anduril when he was working for Peter Thiel's venture capital company.
Okay, got one more. Hold up. Working for his capital company. Hold on. I'm gonna shoot the next one.
Who is going to be the beneficiary of all that investment, all those government contracts? It's going to be whoever is friends with the president of the United States after the next election. So if JD Vance gets in, it's going to be Palantir, Peter Thiel, Alex Karp. It's going to be Anduril, Palmer Luckey. It's going to be OpenAI, Sam Altman. It's going to be Grok, Elon Musk, Tesla with their robots. That's the end goal. So it's really, one way you could look at it is a coup. This is their guy. They use Trump as a Trojan horse, or maybe another analogy, they let JD Vance draft behind him. And then once Trump is discarded as a lame duck, they'll anoint Vance. And then he's going to pour all these maybe trillions of dollars in value towards their companies, and they will become the new oligarchs of America. That's the end game.
So is he right? Is he right, man? It makes sense, right? It makes sense, but this is what they do. This is what they do. He's not wrong. Whether you like Nick Fuentes or not, he's not wrong on this. And this is why, you know, I've been saying this shit for, I don't know, 30 years. I mean, we live we in an oligarchy. We're supposed to live in a constitutional republic, but do we? Do we really? Yeah, we vote, and we vote for who we think would do the best job. We vote for their platform and what they say they're going to do. But they're all oligarchs. They're all billionaires, millionaires, and billionaires, right? They're all millionaires and billionaires, no matter which side you're on, right? I mean, the Clintons were related to the Bushes. You had Clintons, you had the Bushes. I mean, just think about it. Just think about the people. I heard what was it? Obama was related to Dick Cheney. I mean, so if you look at it, I mean, pretty much all my life we've been ran by oligarchs, families. If you go back and actually do the ties, if you actually go back and do the bloodlines, at some point, the people are going to have to wake up, and at some point, I believe that we're going to have to elect somebody that's not them, right? We're going to have to elect somebody that's not part of the party structure, that's not part of the millionaire and billionaire class. I don't know how they'll ever get elected because, of course, you need money, right? Of course, you need money to do it. But you're gonna have to have somebody that's willing, I guess, to go and willing to die because they're probably if you're not part of the clique, they'll probably try to kill you, right? But but this stuff needs to be shut down, right? This stuff needs to be shut down, and the color revolution needs to be shut down first. This color revolution that's going on here, it's the same thing. If you guys haven't watched, if I want you guys to really go back and look at it's on YouTube, and it's called Ukraine Under Fire. And who's the guy? Who's the producer of it? I can't think of his name right now. But it's called Ukraine Under Fire. Let me try to go YouTube real quick. It's on YouTube. And watch that. I want you guys to watch that, right? And I know I've said this under I know I've probably said this on other shows before, but let me make sure that was it. Okay, it's a let me see. Okay, so Ukraine on Fire, actually, is what it is, and violent imagery, whatever. Okay, but it's called Ukraine on Fire, and I'm actually gonna put the link in the chat. What's this guy's name? I forget the freaking producer's name, movie guy, Oliver Stone. Okay, so it's Oliver Stone's movie, and I mean, hopefully, you guys can get this, but it's Oliver Stone's movie, and I'm gonna throw it in the chat. But I want you guys to go watch that, right? And watch it closely. Watch it very, very closely because this is what we're going on under right now. This is what's happening in the United States. I believe, and I've said it before on the show, that I believe that the 2014 coup of Ukraine was a beta test for the United States because it's exactly what happened there is exactly what's going on here as we speak. The color revolution, and I unfortunately, I believe it's going to come down to certain things we're going to have to do in this country. You know, and if I need to play the clip again, Rashida Tlaib said it. We're here. I mean, that's if you guys, if you all don't take that as a warning, if you don't take that as a warning from someone sitting in Congress, right? I mean, we still got cash. We're talking about he's talking about fucking burn bags, man.
And that's what we
You
did.
know?
That's what we're
Here,
doing.
let's see if this
That's
will
how we
play. I don't
found it.
know.
And we're going to continue to expose
I mean,
it.
Cash is
And you're
talking
gonna see
about
everything we
now
found
we're
in that
gonna see
room
everything that
in
was in
one
the
way or
burn
another,
bags, man.
be it
Who
through
cares?
investigation, public trial,
Who cares,
or
Cash?
disclosure to Congress.
Right? Who cares? We're gonna see everything that's in the burn bags, dude. You should have been. Who's arrested? I want to see people in handcuffs. I don't want to see the burn bags, Cash. I don't want to see the burn bags. It won't play. I'm gonna have to. I don't want to see the burn bags, Cash. I want to see people arrested for putting the burn bags there. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I mean, and the more we get all this information, right, everything that's happening, the false flags, you understand what's going on, and it happened. You guys need to understand the timing on this too. Understand the timing of everything that happened. The shooter, talking about Venezuela, all of this stuff, right? Did it play? I can't see it on my end. Did it play? You guys saw that? Did you guys see that? All right, so I'm gonna go back. Maybe it's just not playing on my end. So the Cash clip played. Jackie said it played. Did anybody see that? Let me go over to Getter. Did you guys see that clip by any chance? Replace them with Flynn. yeah, Flynn. I mean, Flynn needed to be in this administration anyway. But I think that was by design, though. I because Flynn knew too much too. Flynn knew everything, right? Flynn knew everything, and so what they did to Flynn, they destroyed him, destroyed his family. They tried to bankrupt him, but and Trump didn't bring him back the second time, which I think was a mistake. I think Flynn should have came back in the same role over NSA. He should have been the secretary. I mean, he should have been. He should actually have been in Tulsi Gabbard's spot, if not the Secretary of Defense, or if not the Secretary of State. But he should have been high up in Trump's administration, I believe. I really do. So, oh, it played. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's try another video then. If the Cash video played, it's not playing for me on my end for some reason. So, okay, so I'm going to play some stuff. So, and this is, and this is also another guy that probably should have been executed because he's Israel first. He was the most notorious Israeli spy in the United States. He actually was the one to steal the secrets, the nuclear secrets from America and give it to Israel, and Israel ended up selling it to Russia as well. So, and this guy and Mike Huckabee, I think we said it last week, he should be fired. But listen at this guy. Listen at what this guy says, and now check and see if it plays. You guys let me know.
They think we're bluffing. We go forward with it. We have the right to use any and all weapons in our disposal, academically speaking, nuclear weapons. And I'm tired of using euphemisms. I'm tired of saying, well, we have something, in the basement, but we won't be the first to introduce nuclear weapons in the Middle East. It's enough already. I said, no, let me bring you back to October 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, when Henry Kissinger instituted an arms embargo against us. And what happened? An A-4 Skyhawk was parked at Tel Nof Air Base with some interesting weapons under its wings, and we told the Americans, take your eye in the sky and take a good look at the airplane that's on that runway.
So in other words, we threatened their...
We threatened to use unconventional weapon. I'll leave it at that. And so he said, is this what you're...
Okay, so did that clip play? Let me know if that clip played. But yeah, it's question and answer time. So what do you think about ICE? If you guys got any questions, man, just load me up. I was going to go through... I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to go through the MTG thing, the Comey, the political, a big picture. But I think I want to hit the big picture real quick on this. Then I'll answer some questions. I'll take questions, man. If you guys want to call in, let me know, man. If you guys got something you want to say, maybe I'll bring you on. Okay. But this week, like I say, was huge. From with the National Guard thing, because man, that's just wrong on so many levels. On so many levels, man. That just bothers me in the Rashida Tlaib thing, man. But I think that we're in perpetual reaction mode. I think they got us reacting, instead of being strategic. We're in just reaction mode. When something bad happens, we respond with maximum force. We don't, some criticize us, and I mean, and we attack them as traitors or whatever, right? Someone challenges our narrative, cut them off, but that's not leadership. And this is what chaos is. What's happening, what we see now, and this is what color revolutions are, right? It sows chaos. This is chaos. And I can say I'd rather have this chaos than what we had under Biden, because Biden exponentially gave us more chaos, right? Trump has secured the border. We haven't had any border crossings in months. That's because that's because everybody's already on this side of the border, maybe, But we are deporting. I can give you numbers on deportation. I don't even know if you guys want to hear that. I don't know if you guys want to hear the numbers that we have on deportations, because there's not enough, right? I think we need to up the deportations to a higher level. I mean, so we're doing what we can. I think Tom Homan, friend of mine, is doing what he can with ICE. But I think we can do better. I think we can be more disciplined. I think we can be, more secure without violating the Constitution, which we haven't done. Right? I think we elected Donald Trump to fix things, not just blow things up like he's doing, with the boats or whatever. People want results, man, not just the rhetoric, not just the name calling, not just, putting out strong tweets, right? People want their country back, man. We want our country back. We want our jobs back, right? We want 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds to be able to afford homes again. Homes, what they say, the median age, I think, is like 40 now for people to own a house. I know some, we have some people, that's doing it, but I think the median age is like 40. We can't continue to make new problems while solving the old ones. It doesn't work like that, right? It's not working like that at all. So we have to stop doing that, and we have to definitely continue, like I say, to be America only. But Jackie said, "What do you think about ICE?" I think they've been infiltrated by the wrong people. Also, I think on every level of government. Just go back to what Tlaib said. We're everywhere. We're at every corner. We're in Congress. So if they're in Congress, and they should be, if the Republican Party in Congress is not going to, and is not moving to expel her. That's dangerous rhetoric. That's insurrection talk. If they're not moving to expel her, then something is definitely wrong. Oh, it's playing on YouTube. Okay. Well, it seems like YouTube is getting it, but I don't think. All right, so the clips are playing on YouTube, but they're not playing on Rumble. So it must be Rumble. It must be a Rumble thing, then, right? I think it's a Rumble thing. And I don't think it's playing on Getter. Oh, you heard it? Oh, well, maybe, it's playing on Getter too. Maybe it's just a Rumble thing, because I can't watch it play. Normally I can see it play too, but it's just stuck. It's not playing. So that's good. You guys got to listen to it then. That's cool, because maybe I can play others. Right? I mean, but we are coming to a crossroads here in the United States. We're coming to a crossroads, and people are choosing sides, man, and they don't want to get in trouble. They'll speak bad about Israel. Well, I think Israel is at the base of a lot of this, right? I think, Jackie, they say they don't get into trouble, and yet they want to keep us from traveling. Traveling, if you speak, is playing on Rumble too. Oh well, shit. It's just not playing on my system then. So cool. All right. So well, if that is, let me just play some more. I want to play some more stuff then, if it's playing for you guys, because I did want to get through some stuff. So, Cash on the Burn Bats. Well, you know what? Actually, the rest didn't download, but Crockett and CNN. I don't want to play. I think I played her last week, but I just think we just need to keep building a political movement towards America only. Yeah, it's still MAGA. It's still, of course, make America great again. I always make that again, but I think we definitely need to pivot to America only. To America only. I think because when Trump does things like this, right? I said that I was gonna go back and read this because, for example, okay, we talk about, and if you can, please make this make more sense to me, right? Okay, because I know we're blowing up votes from Venezuela with drugs coming in. Now, Venezuela is a whole nother continent away. You guys have to understand this, right? We're blowing up boats leaving Venezuela. Venezuela is another continent away. It's in South America, where we have borders. We have cartel members. We have mules. We have people still bringing drugs across the border right here in Mexico. Right here in Mexico. And I want you guys to understand, this isn't about drugs, man. Okay, we tell the truth here, whether you like it or not. This is not about drugs. This is about regime change. And and we keep doing this shit over and over. I mean, there's a history of it. We did it in Iran. We regime changed Iran. We regime changed Iraq. Okay? Syria. We've done it. I mean, this is just another regime change fomented by the United States, and I think underscored by Israel. Because we're not getting many drugs in the United States from Venezuela. I need to be honest. It's coming. Well, the fentanyl is coming from China. Why aren't we blowing up boats from China? Why aren't we at war with China? Why aren't we at war with Mexico? Because it's coming across their border into ours. Why aren't we at war with Mexico? Why are we going to Venezuela? Because it's about regime change. But here we are, blowing up boats from Venezuela. But Trump just he partied. Now we're supposed to be blowing up the boats because we don't want the drugs in the United States, right? We don't want the drugs coming to the United States. So this is why we're blowing up the boats. So tell me and make it make sense to me, okay? I'm going to read the tweet. I'm going to read Donald Trump's truth. But make it make sense to me why the guy who just spent maybe 2 weeks or something or whatever. Now, that was another guy he pardoned, a white-collar crime guy, billionaire that defrauded people. He just pardoned him too. But anyway, he pardoned a convicted drug dealer who was convicted by a jury here in the United States for conspiring to traffic 400 tons of cocaine into the United States. Right? So I'm going to read this. This is Donald Trump's tweet, his truth or whatever, right? Matter of fact, here, I'm going to share my screen. I'll let you guys read with me. Because it makes no sense to me, right? So it says, if Tito Asfura wins for president of Honduras, because the United States has so much confidence in him. Why are we nation building? This is part of nation building, right? And I understand we need our allies and I understand we need stuff like that, right? Okay. But because we have so much confidence in him, his policies and what he will do for the great people of Honduras, we will be very supportive. Okay, so he's talking about the presidential election and who we want in Honduras, right? Okay, so you get into this tweet and you start, okay, this is about Honduras. Okay, they're liking the president. We want the people of Honduras to have a good president, right? And then he says we're going to be supportive. If he doesn't win, the United States will not be throwing good money after bad. Why are we throwing money into these elections? Why are we throwing money at these countries anyway? Because a wrong leader can only bring catastrophic results to a country, no matter which country it is. Tito will be a great president, and the United States will work closely with him in order to ensure the success with all of its potential of Honduras. Right? Now here's where it get like, is this all about a presidential election? Right? Additionally, then he throws this in. Additionally, I will be granting a full and complete pardon to former president, this is the president of Honduras, former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who has been, according to many people that I greatly respect, Lindsey Graham maybe, treated very harshly and unfairly. This cannot be allowed to happen, especially now after Tito Asfura wins the election, when Honduras will be on its way to great political and financial success. Vote for Tito Asfura. Why he's fucking running a campaign ad for the president of Honduras. And congratulations to Juan Orlando Hernandez for your upcoming pardon. Thank you again for your attention to this matter. Make Honduras great again? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That was the second tweet of that chain, right? The first one is on the right. Democracy is on trial in the coming elections in the beautiful country of Honduras. On November 30th, will Maduro and his narco-terrorists take over another country like they have over Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela? The man who is standing up for democracy and fighting against Maduro. So this is the thing, right? So we're backing this guy because he's fighting against Maduro, who we actually have a $50 million bounty on his head, right? Tito Asfura, the presidential candidate of the National Party. Tito was the highly successful mayor of, I can't even pronounce that shit, not even going to try, where he brought running water to millions and paved hundreds of kilometers of roads, no doubt with American taxpayer money. His chief opponent is Rixi Moncada, who says Fidel Castro is her idol. Okay, normally, okay, so this is about friendships, right? So people are going to read this, oh man, what are you talking about, man? This is about allies. This is about friendship. Donald is doing the right thing. Trump is doing, this is why we have to be America only. This is why we have to be America only, man, because now, we're pumping money, American taxpayer dollars down there. That's what's happening, right? And you guys can read the rest. It's up there. He helped about Castro, and then he resigned, now pretending to be anti-communist, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Right? So we have to pardon a drug dealer in order to be friends. You guys see this? I mean, is it just me? I mean, is it just me? Am I being ridiculous? Am I being ridiculous? Like, why does this freaking matter to us? Why does it matter? We're meddling in elections. Isn't that what the whole 2020 thing was about? China meddled in our elections. Russia meddled in our elections. freaking Germany, whoever the fuck meddled, everybody meddled in our elections. Isn't that what our 2020 election was about? All the meddling. Why are we meddling in elections? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Right? We need to stop meddling. We need to stop meddling. And people are gonna look at me, well, what we're gonna need hunters because if Venezuela takes over or if that communists get in, I mean, we deal with China. We trade with communist China. Honduras is right on our borders in Central America. Well, we've invaded Honduras before. Shit, if worst come to worst, we'll just invade them again. And I'm sure if this other guy wins, if his opponent wins, I'm sure we'll probably be invading Honduras next. When is it gonna stop, man? And we're paying for this. I'm tired of paying for regime changes in other countries. I'm tired of paying for giving money to other countries to be our friend. To be our friend. Pardoning a drug dealer? Well, damn it, if you're pardoning that guy, there's a whole lot of American citizen drug dealers that probably need pardon too. They probably need pardon too. I mean, some of this just don't make sense, man. Some of it just don't make sense, you know? We have to be America only. Until we actually get there, until we actually, the masses, and I think the masses are tired, and I think my brother's keeper over on Getter said it. The Americans, we're at the end of our rope, man. We have people that can't afford food. We have people that can't afford their rent. We have people that can't afford their bills, their lights. We have people struggling here in the United States. Right? We have problems here in the United States. Why are we worrying about Honduras, President Trump? And we're just going to continue down this path of destruction, being led by oligarchs, being led by corporatism, being led by big tech. Like he says, like Nick Fuentes says, Lil Tech. Because the next thing they're going to do is just have the successor, JD Vance, right? And he's Peter Thiel's boy. You guys have to understand that relationship. Peter Thiel's boy. And the costs are not getting any better. Yeah, they say, well, if you listen to Trump, well, we have trillions of dollars or billions of dollars of tariffs coming in. Then you hear, well, we're going to stop the income tax. And, my man, coffee is high. The price of eggs may have come down because you know why the price of it, here it is, right? And I'm going to tell you this. You know why the price of eggs are coming down? It has nothing to do with the tariffs. I'm going to tell you why, right? Because you have to understand why the price of eggs exploded in the first place. But the price of eggs are coming down because we're not killing hundreds of thousands and millions of chickens like Joe Biden did because of some made up bird flu lie. That's what happened to the price of eggs. They euthanized millions of chickens, egg-laying chickens, because they told us that it was the bird flu going around and we have to euthanize all of these chickens. Well, guess what? The little chickens that hatched or whatever, They're not bigger chickens, and they're laying eggs again, and we're not euthanizing them. So of course the price of eggs are going to come down because we have the supply again. Don't let them fucking gaslight you. Stop letting these politicians and these people gaslight you. Right? You want to freaking import beef? Why? We have cattlemen here. We have cattle ranchers here. This shit's all a game, man. And you guys, until we get a leader for the people, and and it can't be some fucking communist, some social. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real leader that understands America only principles. Period. America only principles. Period. That's it. Not somebody that's going to sell out to big tech and Palantir and Oracle and all of these. We need somebody that's truly going to be America only. America first is hijacked. America first means, okay, well, sometimes America comes second, because I know another country that to most of these 535 representatives in the House of Representatives and the Senate called Congress, most of them are beholden to another country first. And I agree, Jackson. What about the Ohio train wreck? What about, the accident and spill? Those people are dying because their soil and their air is polluted. Over in Ohio, still no answers. Those people are still not getting paid. Those people, they won't even pay them people to move. We have issues. North Carolina, Appalachia. We have issues out, California, people's houses, even though they were rich people. Their houses got burnt to. I mean, we have problems, and we want to play in other countries. We want to play in Honduras. We want to play in fucking Venezuela. We want to play, in Iran, and we just want to play in other places, man. And it has to stop. And I think it has to stop. And official, it needs to stop. So. Now let me wrap this up, man. Let me I'm sorry. I there's some things I was going to talk about, but I mean, I think we just need to bring it all in perspective. We need to be aware. We need to, shit's going to get worse before it get better. And I mean, we're facing. And you guys have to understand and stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. If you have if you're in a state like mine where we can carry all the time, carry. Make sure you guys are carrying. If you have your concealed weapons permit in Virginia, make sure you're carrying. Okay? Make sure you guys are carrying, because, these incidences are going to become more frequent, especially, and I hinted at this, but then I went away from it, especially in the timing of Trump signing the bill to release the Epstein list. You notice shit started breaking loose then. They're not going to give us they're not. Okay? They're not going to give us the stuff from Epstein because there's too many people on it that run this country, that run the world. It's too many people. Okay? They're not. Because how they're not? Because they say, okay, yeah, we're going to release all the documents and everything that's not classified. No, we're going to release everything that's unclassified. Well, they're just going to classify everything, right? So it's been a tough week, man. It's been a tough week. Pray for the family. The National Guard family members. So pray for them. Their families, and it's just a shame. So for to Sarah Beckstrom family, we're sorry for her loss, and to Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf's family, we hope he pulled through, and we hope here on the Radical Republicans Live show that America only. I think this is the only America's only America only show, right? I always say the Radical Republicans Live show, America only show. How about that, right? You know, we've been through a lot, but we've been through much worse. And you know, and I think it comes to, I think everybody needs to be founding fathers again. You know, this country was founded by people who, I know I'm going a little long, but who risk everything for freedom, everything, you know, and we survived that. And but you know, we survived the Civil War, world wars, depressions, all kind of, you know, imaginable crises. So you know, we'll get through this, and we'll get through this, but it's going to require everyone. All of us need to step up. All of us need to step up. We can't just sit back. And right now, President Trump is the pilot of the plane. We don't want the pilot of the plane to crash. We don't want the pilot to crash, right? So we have to fix everything. We can't rely on Trump to fix everything. So, you know, even a pilot has a co-pilot, right? So we have to be the co-pilot, you know. And even though it seems like, you know, a lot of times, you know, Trump's not with us 100%, and I've been very vocal about that. I know Carolyn has, no, but I've been very vocal about that. I don't like a bunch of the shit that Trump is doing right now. I don't know who the guy is at times, and I explained a couple of things to you tonight. But we just can't complain. We have to keep, you know, engaged. We have to be engaged citizens. We have to hold our leaders accountable. Don't be afraid to hold our leaders accountable, because you're going to get attacked by MAGA cult. And we have to shut down the Rashida Tlaibs. That we have to shut down this color revolution. If you got to be a part of it by being vocal or whatever you need to do, we have to shut it down, because it's coming. And I mean, we have to hold all of them accountable, all of them, regardless of the party. Regardless of the party, Rashida Tlaib should actually probably be arrested by what she should be arrested. She's fomenting violence. She's fomenting a insurrection. You guys have to understand that. I can't say that enough. Her words were loud and clear to me. Okay? And we have to demand excellence from the Republican Party. If you're Republican, if you call yourself MAG, if you call yourself America First, if you call yourself America Only, we have to demand excellence from these people. We have to continue to speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. And we do that here every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? You know, Sarah Backstrom, she died 20 years old serving her country. And in our nation's capital, she was murdered. At least we can do to honor that sacrifice, and her sacrifice from last week is to fight for America, because it's worth defending. And we're going to have a fight. We're going to have a fight. We're going to have to fight, man. Right? And we need to fight for America that's safe, America that's free, and an America that lives up to its founding principles. Like I said, we all have to be founding fathers right now. We all have to be founding fathers, and we can't have contradictions, right? You know, there are balance points, but we can't, and you know, that make America exceptional. You know, like I told the trolls last week, we're talking about American exceptionalism. Okay? It means law and order, justice, and that's not just justice for criminals. That's justice for people. I mean, that's, you know, for the illegals. I'm talking about justice for these legal people, these congressmen that's on this list. And you know, there's people on that list. You know, there's people on that list, and until we get that list, I'm telling you, Trump is going to lose his base. If people don't start getting arrested, people don't see, if Americans don't see people being perp walked, right? And I gave the list of things that we haven't had any arrests for. He's going to lose the base. We're going to lose 2026, and we're really going to be screwed. We're really, really going to be screwed. Okay, so our job is not to be patriots when it's good, okay? You know, like I say, everyone wants to be a patriot until it's time to do patriot shit, right? Well, if you're a patriot, it's time to do patriot shit, right? We don't need no summer shoulders and sunshine patriots, right? We don't need summer soldiers and sunshine patriots. That's a little tongue twister for me. But pray for this recovery. Pray for this nation. Pray, because it's coming around Christmas, man. So, first thing first thing I need you guys to do is definitely pray for this country. Second, stay informed. Don't just read the headlines. Don't just read, mainstream media. Don't just watch clips. Dig into the details, man. Okay. Understand everything. Understand the complexity of these issues for yourself. Don't let anyone, include me. And I'm happy and I love you guys for watching the show. Few of you that it is, but I have viewers all over the nation. But don't let anyone, including me, do your thinking for you. Okay. Engage. You guys have to engage. And I know calling your representatives don't do much, but call them anyway. It's coming up on election time. Okay. It's coming up on, where they have to start, campaigning for elections. This is when they listen the most. Okay. So call your representatives, show up to their meetings when they have them, make your voice heard, right? Make your voice heard. This republic requires participation. Okay, because we don't live in a democracy, and I hate when people use that word. I hate when people say that, right? We do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic, and it requires your participation, right? I want you guys to live your principles. I want you to be the change you want to see. My dad used to tell me that, right? My dad used to tell me that. Be the change that you want to see. Okay? And we still have to treat each other with respect, even when we disagree. Even when we disagree, we try to treat with respect. But now, game recognized game. So, if you want to play hardball with me, I'm gonna play hardball with you, right? So if you want to be a communist and talk about my country, well, I'm gonna be an anti-communist, and then we might have some issues, right? So we can't never give up. Things are crazy right now, man. Things are crazy. I know some people, someone said that they felt hopeless. I think I'm like, no, man. There's always hope. We always got to keep hope alive. I know sometimes it does feel hopeless. But is this country worth fighting for? I think every person needs to ask themselves that question. Is America worth fighting for? Is your freedom worth defending? Is your grandchildren? I just had a grandbaby, man. This is one of the things that spurred me to freaking write this book, man, because I wanna hand over this country free like it was when we were growing up. Is your children's future, is it worth the struggle? Right? Is it worth the struggle? So I guess I'm gonna, like I say, get ready to wrap it up here. And just keep praying. Just keep praying. And I don't know if the show ended or not, but I don't think it did. But I have to go in here. And find you some music to go out on. What are we going out on tonight, man? We got to go out on a high note. So, let's see. I can play this. I played that last week. I'm not gonna play that this week. All right, but and if you don't have kids, just look at the ones in the neighborhood. That's right. It's definitely worth fighting for. Definitely worth fighting for. Wow. You know what? I love this song, and I'm going out on this because it's gonna come. All right, here we go. We're going out on this tonight. Y'all be cool. Love y'all. We'll see you next week, same time. Every Sunday night. I should be back next because I'm going out of town here, but I should be back next Sunday night. But next Sunday night, I'll see you. Because America, we have to be indestructible. So that's what I'm going out with. We have to be indestructible. Our resolve and everything has to be indestructible, and we have to keep playing. So I'll see you guys next Sunday night. All right. Same time, same place. I love y'all. Y'all be cool. Y'all have a great week. Be safe. Later. It's coming. This is funny, man. Everything's going crazy tonight. All right, here we go. We see you guys next week. 8 p.m. live, Eastern Standard Time. Love y'all. Peace.
I'm on the mission, the powers and call me away. I'm on the time to carry the colors again. My motivation and no house wanted to defend, to win the honor of coming back home again. No explanation will matter after we begin. I'm not the dark destroyer that's buried within. My true vocation and now my unfortunate friend. You will discover all while you're unable to win. I'll have you know that I've become indestructible. Determination and less incorruptible. From the other side of terror to the hook. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that they're a bullet that be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I'm an indestructible master of war. Another reason, another cause for me to fight. Another fuse uncovered now for me to light. My dedication to one the lost, one to protect. I carry out my orders without a regret. My declaration embedded deep under my skin. A permanent reminder of how it began. No hesitation when I am commanded to strike. You need to know that you're in the fight of your life. You will be shown how I become indestructible. Determination and is incorruptible. From the other side of terror to behold. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that they're a bullet that be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I'm an indestructible master of war. Determination and is incorruptible. From the other side of terror to behold. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that they're a bullet that be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I am indestructible. Indestructible. Determination that is incorruptible. From the other side of terror to behold. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that they're a bullet that be invincible. Take a last look around while you're alive. I'm an indestructible master of